Emotional control is often misunderstood. People imagine it means suppressing feelings, being cold, detached, unbothered. But psychology tells a very different story. Lack of emotional control is not caused by having emotions. It's caused by being pulled into them without awareness. Most emotional reactions happen faster than thought. Before logic, before intention. A comment lands. A message is ignored. A plan falls apart. And the body reacts first. Heart rate increases. Muscles tense. Attention narrows. This isn't weakness, it's biology. The brain's threat system evolved to protect you, not to make you wise. When something feels threatening, embarrassing, or uncertain, the emotional brain takes the wheel. It pushes you toward reaction, not reflection. This is why people say things they regret. Why small frustrations become big conflicts. Why calm intentions disappear under pressure. Emotional control begins when you understand this sequence. Emotion comes first. Interpretation follows. Action comes last. Most people try to control emotions at the wrong point. They try to control how they feel. But feelings aren't switches. They're signals. Psychology shows that emotions are information, not commands. Anger signals perceived injustice. Anxiety signals uncertainty. Sadness signals loss. The problem isn't the signal. It's mistaking the signal for an instruction. Emotional control is the ability to pause between feeling and action. That pause is small, often just a few seconds, but it's enough. In that pause, the rational brain can re-enter. Choice becomes possible again. This is where Stoicism and modern psychology quietly agree. You don't control what emotion appears. You control how you relate to it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that emotions arise uninvited, but judgment is optional. Modern psychology calls this cognitive reappraisal. It means changing how you interpret a situation, not denying how it feels. Two people can feel the same emotion and act very differently. One reacts, the other observes. The difference is not emotional strength, it's emotional distance. Distance allows choice. This is why emotionally controlled people often appear calm. Not because they feel less, but because they respond later. They let the wave pass before deciding how to move. Emotional control is not about winning against emotion. It's about not being owned by it. Neuroscience supports this. When you label an emotion, intensity drops. Saying "I feel angry" instead of "I am angry" creates separation. That separation gives the brain time to regulate. The emotion doesn't disappear, but it loosens its grip. Emotions feel overwhelming when they feel permanent. But they aren't. They rise, they peak, they fall. Even intense emotions follow this curve. Emotional control improves when you trust that feelings move on their own. You don't need to fight them. You need to stay present until they pass. This is why emotional control is hardest under stress. Stress makes everything feel urgent. Under pressure, the brain prefers simple actions. Fight, avoid, blame. Stoicism called this being carried away by impressions. Psychology calls it emotional hijacking. Different language, same experience. The solution isn't removing stress. That's impossible. The solution is practicing regulation when stakes are low. In traffic, in small disagreements, in mild frustration. Each pause trains the system. Each restrained response strengthens the circuit. Emotional control isn't a personality trait. It's a practice skill. People who seem emotionally strong aren't immune to emotion. They're familiar with it. They know clarity comes after the surge, not during it. This changes how you relate to others. You stop expecting yourself to feel nothing. And you stop expecting perfection from others. You begin responding instead of reacting. And outcomes change. Not because life gets easier, but because you stop handing control to the loudest emotion in the room. Emotional control doesn't mean being calm all the time. It means being deliberate more often. Psychology doesn't promise emotional mastery. Stoicism doesn't either. They offer something more realistic: the ability to pause, to see clearly, and to act with intention, even when emotion is present. That's not suppression, that's freedom.